What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm going to share with you how I was able to improve my spending habits for good. So spending is something you struggle with. Make sure you stick around. What's up, First Gen fam? Welcome to First Generational Wealth Building, where we help you transform your money mindset, your money habits, and your money beliefs. I'm your host, Ashanze, aka Zay, and in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you how I was able to clean up my spending habits for good. Now, it's important to understand why cleaning up your spending habits is important in the first place. Number one, it's going to help you cut wasteful spending. I know a lot of us do wasteful spending. You know, in my case, I could look back and when I ran my numbers, I was spending close to $600-700 a month between 7-Eleven, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King. I mean, you name it, I was spending money there. And I really needed to get control of this because it was stopping me from reaching certain goals. And once I, cleaned up my spending habits, I was then able to save more. I was able to start investing. I was able to travel more. Just everything that I really wanted to do, I was able to do. So ultimately, gaining control of your spending habits is going to give you the freedom that you want to do the things you enjoy. Now, before I, jump into these strategies, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and definitely press that like button on this video. Now, I'm not going to hold you up any longer. I'm going to get right to it. So, tip number one when it comes to cleaning up your spending habits, create a value system. Now, I talked about this last week, so I'm gonna put that video up here to check it out what a value system is, but very short, this value system is going to guide your spending decisions. What it did for me is it really helped me start to evaluate where I was spending my money. I started to say, 7-Eleven and Burger King and all these places, it's not as valuable versus me traveling. Like, I wanted to travel, I wanted to invest, I wanted money in the stock market, and spending money at these stores just wasn't valuable enough for me. It wasn't bringing the same value to my life as investing and traveling was. And so I used my value system as, you could say, the North Star for my finances. And really, that's what you're going to want to use your value system for, to really help guide you in the right direction when it comes to making spending decisions and cleaning up your spending habits. Number two, convert what you're spending into work hours. Now, this is another tip that I got from the book, Your Money or Your Life. And simply put, you take the amount of the purchase, you divide it by what you make hourly. And when I started using this, guys, it changed my world. I would sit there and think about, okay, I want to buy this $100 speaker, right? Now, knowing what I made hourly, I would have to work my job for 4 hours. So I thought to myself, do I really want to work 4 hours to get this speaker? And it was a no. At the time, I didn't enjoy the job I had. So, me thinking about 4 hours of work just to buy this speaker, it was not worth it. So in your case, guys, really analyze, do I want to work these 8 hours to go out and, buy these concert tickets or buy these pair of shoes or whatever it is, because when you think about it, you're really trading your life, energy, hours for money at this point. Unless you're an active investor or have passive income, anything you bring in because you have to work, you are trading your life, energy, hours for that money. And so you really have to give that some consideration. So again, convert what you're about to spend into your work hours and see if the purchase is justified. Number three, think about the trade-off. Now, thinking about the trade-off is really simple. For me, it was, do I want to spend this money at 7-Eleven right now? Or do I want to invest and let it grow for later? Or do I want to put it in a savings account and let it grow so I can go on a vacation? Thinking about the trade-off is really going to help you clean up your spending habits, because now you have something to evaluate the purchase you're about to make against. So if you're out shopping and you have a trip coming up in a couple of months, really ask yourself, Is me spending this money right now the best thing, or should I be saving it for this trip later? Again, thinking about the trade-off is really going to help you clean up your spending habits, guys. Now, tip number 4, this is a big one. Take control of your emotions, right? Now, for me, again, I'm going to use myself as an example because these were the things that helped me. So taking control of my emotions meant that I needed to be aware of the situation around me that might have caused me to spend money. So prime example, have a long week at work and I'm just exhausted, I'm tired, and then I get paid on Friday. Now I'm happy, I got this money in the bank, and I wanna go out and spend a little bit of cash. And you go out to the bar, you have yourself a good time, you get your couple of drinks, have a great happy hour, and before you know it, the nights got away from you and you done swipe. And then comes Monday and you are terrified to look at your bank account because you don't even want to fathom what you spent over the weekend. That is exactly what I mean by taking control of your emotions. You cannot let a situation like work getting to you, or maybe it's your kids driving you crazy and then that makes you want to go spend money. You really have to, again, try to understand those emotions that make you, tick. What are those triggers? And really gain control over them. When you have that hard week at work, what I do now is I go to the gym. I'm in the gym on a Friday night when most people are at the bar. But for me, that was the trade-off. You like what I said there, right? So that was the trade-off. It was either go spend money or I could control my emotions, go work off some stress, and that works for me. So in this case, guys, taking control of your emotions is just being aware that, okay, right now I'm emotionally charged. That's why, I want to go out and make this purchase, or why I want to go out to the bar for a happy hour because this other situation like work or kids is affecting me. So what can I do to get that same release as spending money, but where I'm not spending money? You see what I mean? So again, tip number 4 is to definitely take control of your emotions, learn your emotions, become aware of them, and really grasp what you can do to, again, not spend money, but still, release that stress or gain control of those emotions. Number 5, don't rely on others' opinions. This is a big one because, we will often ask our friends opinions about certain spending decisions that we're about to make, and they may not be on the same page as us financially. And so when they give you their feedback or their thoughts, they're thinking from the perspective of, if I had that money, would I spend it? And they're probably thinking yes. That's where they are in their journey. So you have to be careful with asking others' opinions when it comes to, when you're about to make a purchase or when you're trying to clean up your spending habits, unless there's someone like your accountability partner, or maybe they're in the same financial group as you and understand your goals and where you want to go. Okay, then it's okay to ask those kind of people because they'll be able to give you a real, true, honest answer because they know what you're striving for, versus a friend who you may have not shared those goals with, or who doesn't know that you're on a financial journey. They're not going to give you that same advice. So be very wary of asking for others' opinions because, again, the biggest thing is not everybody has the same financial values as you do. So that's going to be a big one, guys. Number 6, avoid traps and pitfalls. For me, I'm going to go to my same example, 7-Eleven. This was a trap that I needed to avoid because I knew every time I went into 7-Eleven, I was going to buy me a pack of Reese's, I was going to buy 2 packs of gummy bears, I was going to get a pack of sunflower seeds, I was going to get a Red Bull, and I was going to get a soda. Without fail, I was always going to buy that on top of whatever I went in the store to originally get. And these are the types of traps and pitfalls that I'm talking about. If you frequently shop at Target and you're supposed to go in there for one thing, but every time you go into Target, you leave out with multiple items, you've got to implement some type of discipline to where you either bring cash, you go with a list, or you bring a buddy that is going to make you stick to that list. Whatever it is you need to do to avoid those traps and pitfalls, you need to figure it out and do it. For me, I just stopped going to 7-Eleven. I mean, I just stopped, I kind of stopped going to convenience stores altogether. If I need to get gas, I paid for it at the pump. I was not stepping foot into that store until I really got control of, okay, I can go in there and not buy all those things. Eventually, I was able to, wean off off gummy bears and all that stuff. Every now and then I still go buy it, but definitely not to the tune of $600 to $700 a month. You know what I mean? So I just completely said I'm going to avoid that stuff for now, and that's the same thing you have to do. So tip number six is to definitely avoid those traps and pitfalls, y'all. And tip number 7, I want you to evaluate the price of the purchase versus the value of the purchase. Now, what do I mean by measure the price versus the value? Prime example, grocery store shopping. When my wife and I go grocery shopping, we know that there are certain brands that we like, and because we like them, we know that the price and for the value we're going to get out of that brand is justified. But things such as like cereal or seasonings or just things that, we can easily substitute the taste, we get the store brand. And it's much cheaper, and we're still getting the same value out of that cheaper purchase. That is exactly what I mean by evaluate the price versus the value. You need to ask yourself, for the item I'm about to purchase, can I get it cheaper but still get the same value? If the answer is yes, do it. It's that simple. If the answer is no, then it's okay. You might want to stick with those higher brands. Again, I give you another example from the grocery store. For my wife and I, there's certain toilet paper that we're going to pay a little bit more for. We don't want to be, using rough ass toilet paper. That's just not cool. So that's what I mean by like evaluate the price versus the value. You really need to think about those items that you are able to cut costs on but still get the same value. And I think if you do that, that will really help you clean up those spending habits. All right, First Gen fam, I have given you the 7 strategies that have worked for me. I hope they will be as helpful to you as they were for me. I do want to let you know that it's going to take some time. Cleaning up your habits is not an overnight thing. So be patient with yourself. Give yourself some grace and just work at it. Try maybe 1, 2, or 3 of them, at different times and see how they work for you. But all in all, these 7 strategies are going to lead you to where you want to be, which is being able to spend your money how you want and cut back in the areas where you really don't need to be spending. So until next week, guys, I will holler at y'all. Peace out.